if it had just cut all the element BS and it had just been like, oh, you know, like your equipment increases your defense or your offense, or just did it like typical RPG stuff, like I think that would have been more appropriate. It was the whole element crap that just made it awful. Like, at least to me, that was the thing that I think really killed it for me. Patty cakes was in it, which made it worse. Troculus is a terrible yeah. Oh man, yeah, God. I wanted Taki so bad. Like it was just a grind to freaking get her, and I wasn't willing to make it happen. Oh god, yeah, I think I'm fine for doing the Phil Cup. I think because I came here last, so it's like I'm already leveled and everything, so it's like... I got pretty far in the Lost Swords, but it was clear you could only go so far with others paying for stuff. He seemed okay, but once the story mode happened, I hated him. Yeah. Yeah, and then when you get Alpha Patroclus, it's just like, oh, it's Setsuka. You know, we couldn't put Setsuka in the freaking game, or Sasuka, but we'll freaking just put her style in the game and throw it on the freaking Patroclus and just call it Alpha Patroclus. I don't think I had to pay for anything in Lost Swords. I think I did it without having to pay for anything, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. I might have paid. I might have done something stupid and paid for something. Oh, that was cool. Freaking stun impact. Yeah, I just don't recall if I actually... It's been so long, like, once I got all the trophies for it, I just was like, nope, I'm done. Kind of the same thing with Tekken Revolution, like, I think I got all the trophies for that, and I was just like, no, I'm done. It's fine. I'll play Tekken Tag 2. That's such a cool ability. I don't remember getting that on my other data. Oh my god.
Not bad, huh?
Oh, dude, I know. God, I saw that. I was so upset. So it's literally just a port of the freaking PSP game without the PSP game. Like, really, Konami? Like, really? God. So yeah, I'm passing hardcore on that. I'll only buy it if it goes on sale. I won't be paying no $20 for it. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's a super shame. Like... I don't mind the script revision. I really don't. It's just, I don't care for the like, I hate Maria's voice actor, or the voice actress they got for Maria. I don't think it fits. I don't like Alucard's voice. I don't, like, Richter's is fine. I think Richter's is okay. But yeah, like, I didn't care for the voice changes. Like, I don't know, like, as cheesy as the original the translation is and script. It's like the voices fit the character so much better. Like the original voice actor for Alucard just fits Alucard so much more. Yeah, Silent Hill HD. Oh, don't get me started on that. God, and then I think it was like, what is it? The only version of that got some sort of patch that even attempted to fix any of the stuff was the freaking PS3 version, and the same patch was supposed to be applied to the 360 version, but it got canceled. Oh shit, I'm out of MP. Oh, it's such a cool ability.
That's the power of the Keyblade.
Yeah, I didn't play any of the, like, when I had the HD version, I didn't use the remastered voices. I think I used the original. Like, and I know one of the big things there too is, like, they wanted to use the original voice actors, like, as an option, and I know the voice actor who did James Sutherland originally wanted royalties, and I guess Troy had a freaking big thing about that. Like, Troy was like, no, you can't have royalties. It's like, dude, come the fuck on. Like, and I know everybody's story is different. Like, when I met, oh shit, when I met Troy Baker in, I met him in 2013 at SabakuCon in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he was a nice guy. Like, don't get me wrong, like, he seemed like a genuinely nice guy. Got his autograph and everything, not for Silent Hill HD, but for BioShock Infinite, since that was the new hot game out at the time. And I was a big fan of BioShock Infinite, even though, like, a lot of people nowadays don't really care for it. God, wow, I can't believe I freaking lost in the Phil Cup and I forgot to equip potions. That's bad. Yeah, like, I didn't try listening to the voices in that. I immediately tried to play the game with just the original voice cast. Key term there being tried. Got to the apartment, couldn't even see what the hell I was doing, even with the flashlight, and I was like, okay, no. No. Well, my mistake was to get in the 360 version, which never got a patch. I've heard the PS3 version got a patch. I don't know how much better it makes it, if it makes it any noticeably better. But yeah, like, I just remember being so disappointed. I didn't want to think it was as bad as people were saying. Like, I was like, it can't be that bad, can it? Oh, yes, it can. Oh, man. It's okay, though. I've got a physical copy of the original Xbox version of Silent Hill 2. So I'll just stick with that version. Even though I know to some people that version is not the best version. It's inferior to the blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It's still Silent Hill 2. It's still more than enough. It's like, same game. Like, I didn't notice any difference. Like, to me, it looked better. Like, that was just how I felt about it, so. Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird. Like, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I know that general moviegoers don't play the source material. Like, have no prior, like, history with the source material, right? Like, it's kind of the same thing with, like, Lord of the Rings. And I remember my dad, when the Lord of the Rings movies came out, you know, he read the book. You know, like, he had read the book, like, way back when, before the movies came out. And he tells me this, I'll never forget it. You know, the first movie ends, and somebody in the theater like was like, oh my god, that's it, that's all they're gonna do, and that's where it's gonna end. And my dad like just got up and was like, did you really think that they were gonna cover a book that's so and so long in just 3 hours? Like, you know. So yeah, just oh god, but so like freaking Revelations being a masterpiece. Oh man, if I ever met this person, I'd slap them upside their head. That movie is no, and I say this all the time. The first Silent Hill movie, as its own movie, is fine because Silent Hill was never about continuity. Silent Hill, to me, was always an anthology series. So it was like, it was always the premise, though, that there's always a town and there's always something wrong. The town being Silent Hill. So I always viewed the series that way. So even with the ones where, like, you know, 3's a direct sequel to the first game, and then, like, I think it was, like, Homecoming is loosely tied with one of them, or something like that. I know, like, Homecoming and Origins are tied together somehow, I think, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it's like, the first movie by itself is fun. Fan servicey as all hell. Doesn't make any sense that a lot of the crap that was in it, like, especially when Pyramid Head showed up. Like, anybody who knows the lore of Pyramid Head knows he shouldn't be there. But, however, I did talk with my brother, you know, my older brother, who me and him went and saw Silent Hill. I don't think we went and saw it day one. I know we went and saw it in theaters, the first one at least. I think we did see the second one too, and I regretted it. But you know, it was like, I remember just knowing, oh, finally, good lord, it took forever to learn Scan. So like, yeah, like, I mean, we were happy. Don't get me wrong. There were so many references and stuff like that. If you had played the games, you knew like what they were calling back to and everything like that. Like, so like the first movie, because of that, really does hit those high notes because of it. You know, it just has that appeal, and it's like, you know, as its own, it was fine. But yeah, like, I wish what they had done instead was focus more on doing their own thing, like making a movie universe, basically. Like, that's what I really wish they would have done, because I think if they hadn't focused so much on basically carbon copying 3's material, for lack of a better term, and butchering it to the freaking highest extent, I think Revelations could have been a hell of a lot better. You know, throw in the whole thing about how, oh, you know, Pyramid Head's the Elisa's guardian. It's like, okay, well, there's no James Sunderland, but that's fine. I'd rather them do some characters fine, but then, you know, leave the other characters alone, you know, kind of thing. But they should have just had their own universe. Like, and I think that would have been far better than just trying to, like, write in so hard on fans' love for 3 and trying to make that the game that they follow, you know. I don't, like, and that just blows my mind too. It's like, how in the blue hell do you say you hate the games but can enjoy the movies? Because, like, I feel, to me, especially with the first movie, you get far more enjoyment out of it if you've actually played the games. You know, I mean, it's not to say that, like, because, like, for example, you know, I went and saw the movie Aragon. You know, me and my brother were huge fans of the book. And so we went and saw the Aragon movie on day one. And there was so much wrong with the movie. We were pissed by the end of that. We were like, they cut out like 19 chapters of the book. They killed off one of the important characters from the sequel books. It's like, that's why there was never a sequel. That's why Aragon will always be its standalone movie, and that there was never a sequel, you know. So So yeah, like I get it, you know, like that same brother of mine, you know, he was a big fan of the Harry Potter books, and I like the Harry Potter movies. Don't get me wrong. Like he agrees that he thinks that they drew it out too long, that you know because of so many books, and I agree to that. But at the same time, when you try, and much in the case of Series of Unfortunate Events, when you try to combine multiple books into one movie, it gets a little jarring because that's what happened with the Series of Unfortunate Events movie. Aside from Jim Carrey playing Count Olaf, which was a horrible mistake, you liked Count Olaf because he was funny in the movie, and it's like you're supposed to hate him because he's awful in the books. He is written and supposed to be the most awful character in existence. Like you are not supposed to like that character. But they wrote him because it was a Nickelodeon movie, you know, Series of Unfortunate Events. They wrote him as a freaking comic act. You know, he's like doing all this weird rambling and everything like that, and like makes all these really weird noises and facial gestures and hand motions and things like that. So, yeah, it's just like, you know. But then again, they crammed 3 books into that movie. They covered the first 3 books of that series in that movie, and it was really like this should have been spread out a little bit better. Like, you know, maybe do 2 books in one movie instead of trying to cover 3. So yeah, I didn't comment on it, but the Pyramid Head fight scene, oh my god. Lay it on me. I want to know. Is it actually, I'll pose it. Is it better or worse than the Full Metal Alchemist movie? Because I saw the Full Metal Alchemist live action adaptation, and I didn't hate it and I didn't like it. It was like this weird state of like, I got like 0 enjoyment out of it, but I didn't hate the movie. Like, it was just, ugh. So lay it on me, man. Lay it on me. Give me the deets. How was it? I should also be asking, is it as bad as the Attack on Titan movie? Because I heard that movie was pretty freaking horrible as well. Oh, man. Speaking of, this has nothing to do with Attack on Titan, so I don't know what I'm saying. It was just like, oh, thank freaking God. I can now see health bars. Ugh. Took long enough. God, I forget you get it so dang late. I think you have to go to Sid because I got the navigation gummy, and I think that's what lets you go. Lets you go to new stuff. This is a good way to talk. This is a good way to kill time in a stream. Talk about movies. Oh man. Oh, that same person who said that freaking the Silent Hill movies were great said DMC. Oh God. Shouldn't tell me these things, man. Now I want to hurt this person. God. To be fair, DMC I know had a bad reputation, but I heard people say to me it wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be. And you know, I went on to basically I bought the definitive edition secondhand. I played through the whole game and the virtual campaign, got 50% of the trophies, and I said I was done at that point. I wanted to form my own opinion, and I didn't think it was horrible, but it's definitely not good, if that makes sense. He had bad opinions in high school. I haven't seen the Full Metal movie. The Bleach movie isn't absolutely terrible, but it is a bit all over the place. Makes a lot of unnecessary changes to the story. There are a ton of details I'll save for later, but I felt it could have and should have been better. Yeah, you know, that's exactly how I felt about the Full Metal Alchemist movie, and I think the biggest problem there is that that is such a intense series, especially Brotherhood. It's like there's so much you have to learn and understand to like really know what's going on. And so it's like the Full Metal Alchemist movie combined elements from not only Brotherhood but from the original run of the Full Metal, like the first Full Metal Alchemist anime. They like combined elements of it. And so that's what's really really strange. Like they do this like weird combination of the two and then try to cram it in like a 2-hour movie and like fill in all these details and get to this certain point. And it's like it would have been so much better if they just had like allotted maybe like another hour and kind of tried to flesh out stuff more. Like that's how I feel about it in any case. Like some people might disagree with me, but Rukia gives Ichigo a Rocky-like training sequence. That... I'm just like picturing that in my head, just like a montage training, like... And that sounds kind of funny on paper. Wait, didn't I get another navigation gummy? Well, that's what I ended up getting. Oh, God. Yeah. Coming out, like, within the next couple months. I have Dark Souls Remastered for Switch coming out. That is more for streaming purposes. And I wanted a version of it from my Switch because I need more shit on my Switch, apparently, because I'm weird like that. So that's a bit exciting. There's a game called Crystal Crisis coming out in November, or at least it was set for November, but then the date on my order changed to where it was to the end of the year. So I don't even know if it's coming out in November still. It might not be. That I was excited for. Spyro, of course, coming out in November. Super excited about that. Persona 4, Persona Dancing All Night, like the combination game where it's Persona 5 dancing, Persona 3 dancing, and then the code for Persona 4 dancing. Super excited about that. I'm a big fan of Persona 4 dancing. I love rhythm games. That's just my cup of tea. Like, I really like rhythm games a lot. So, super excited for that. Of course, December, we've got Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Ultimate looking stellar. The definitive Smash game. Like, I'm not even a competitive player, and I'm just saying, like, that game to me is going to be a definitive experience. So I'm excited for that. I have in January is going to be, like, no money. Like, my wallet's going to be empty because it's like Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition got pushed back till January. Onimusha HD comes out in January. Resident Evil Remake 2, January. Kingdom Hearts 3 in January. It's just like, so many games in January. Why? I want to say that there's another one coming out in January, and I can't even remember. I was like, Tales of Vesperia, Onimusha, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil. And there's a fifth one in that set, too. Oh, No More Heroes. the new No More Heroes game is supposed to come out in January, and we haven't gotten any information on that. And where in the hell am I supposed to go now? I thought I got another nav gummy after completing... DMC 5, yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for that. My friend Xanthan's getting it, so I'm probably, once he's done with it, I know he's probably gonna keep that game, so I'll probably snag it off of him and borrow it. God Eater 3 is definitely nice. I really need to go ham and like start playing through God Eater. I don't know why I started here. I need to play through God Eater, all of God Eater Resurrection, and then just power through the story of God Eater 2. So I'm like up to date on God Eater 3. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow for the pay-per-view. So. Oh, God, yeah. I gotta do that thing with thunder. Oh, and there was something at Wonderland I could do, too. I just thought about. Yeah, I agree with that. I was excited, but yeah, just I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I know my older brother's getting it, so I'm definitely gonna wait to see what he says before I might go check it out or try to pick it up secondhand or something. What is this? I forget what this even does.
Here.
What does that do? I don't remember what that does.
This is it.
Because it doesn't open the door, because the door's right here. Yeah, the online only stuff is really worn its welcome. Excuse me. Is there like a... Oh, I wonder if I have to go do that thing in Wonderland. Because that's the only other place I could think to go that I know that you needed thunder to do something. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't know that they were making a fourth one of that. That's super nice. Yeah, I really need to play more of Warriors of Orochi 3. Have yet to do so. I need to. I had to like restart it like 3 times. So Cal and Kiwami 2. I'm good for that year. For the year. Nice. Yeah, I just got a handful of stuff that I was like super excited for. That was all the stuff I pre-ordered. So. Yeah. Next year's already shaping up to be... Yeah, I mean, there's a couple games coming out, like, towards the beginning of the year that, like, I'm looking more at for next year. So those are going to probably be more precedent-taking, like, unless just something mind-blowing comes out, like, early on. Yeah, I'm not going to go... Not gonna go too hard on on more games. Like, I'm just really focusing on the stuff that comes out in January, and then just kind of going from there. Yeah, because there's a couple other things I need to get in January. Like, I was looking to get some upgrades for my computer. I fortunately have a motherboard that can have a processor changed, and I'm hoping to get an i7 processor, a good one at that has dropped severely in price since the last time I looked at it, which is super nice. Which is super good because the i9s have come out. I don't think my motherboard is compatible with those, but I'm pretty much going to get like the best i7 processor I can on the market for my motherboard that's compatible, so yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I know some people aren't as excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 as most. I am. It's got more of like a sort of sentimental sort of thing for me, so that's kind of why I'm focusing on it. You know, kind of like why I'm playing Kingdom Hearts now. You know, just reminiscing on my departed friend. You know, it's just like it just tears me up inside because like he was so excited for that game too. But I'll give him credit where credit is due, man. He nailed hit the nail on the head. Because he freaking called it. He was like, there's going to be a limited edition PS4 for Kingdom Hearts 3's release. And I was like, no way. No way. And sure enough, there actually was. Or is going to be. I'm not going to get it. Because, that's money I don't have. Oh, God. That's really all I came back for was for freaking... Thunder Gem? Oh, God. I don't know where to go! Yeah, it sucks. You know, but the mourning period has kind of passed. That's why I've dedicated this whole month of Extra Life and just streaming to his memory. My game day marathon, of course, is going to be dedicated to his memory. So, you know, it's just the least I could do. That's why I was so adamant about getting my new setup and getting all this new equipment and everything like that. He has been going on the shitter since 2013 and are getting worse. Dude, oh God, I was so looking forward to I was so looking forward to Anthem. And I'm so upset that like it's turning into another EA, you know, clusterfuck for lack of a better term. And that's upsetting because it looked really promising from the trailers when it was first announced, and it's so upsetting to hear that it's going to be just not, you know. Thank you, Heartless, for all your patronage. Leviathan. Loot boxes, yeah, if I ever make my game where I won't pull that crap. Oh yeah, dude, like, you know, I had played with that at one point. You know, I really did think about going in to school for game design, and I told myself, I was like, I ain't falling for any of this crap. If I go with DLC for any reason, it's just gonna be for like story expansions, and they're gonna be big. You know, like they're going to be money worth DLC, like, or just stick with like cosmetic stuff. But even then, like, I would want to go back to the old days where like all the cosmetic stuff is all in the game and you can unlock it by meeting certain requirements. Like, I'm very old school like that. I love old school stuff like that. You know, just 60 hours is fun. Oh yeah. That's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go through the warp holes.
The Heartless are searching for it now. I'm certain we'll find it soon enough.
Says
So
you.
that just leaves...
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Jafar,
Yeah, I've been really wanting to pick up Xenoblade Chronicles too. It looks really good. I need to.
The girl is more trouble than she's worth.
You said you had things under control.
Agrabah is full of holes for rats to hide in. But why worry about Princess Jasmine? With her or without her, surely this world will be ours when we find the keyhole.
No, Jafar. If you only
We
knew.
need all 7 princesses of heart to open the final door. Any fewer is useless.
Well, if the princess is that important, we'll find her. Find Jasmine and bring her to me at once.
Make your heartless packing.
Don't steep yourself in darkness too long. The heartless consume the careless.
Your concern is touching, but hardly necessary.
I like how Jasmine was just hanging out.
Take that! Take that!
Zelda now, boys. We breaking pots and getting money. Thinking I might skip on the Rogue Trooper stream for tonight. I'll just stream this for a little while longer. Go spend 18 hours in character customization. I also need to really sit and deal with my gummy ship before the next stream. Make it look nicer. Yep, knew some of those were going to be fakes. Can't believe shadows are not dying in just 3 hits. They should. Can't remember where I need to go. Actually, I think you go here first because you run into Jasmine. I think, in any case. Yes.
A leaden. Where might I find this street?
Is there a
rat?
game you liked, but as time went on, you started disliking it?
Jasmine, allow me to find you more suitable company, my dear princess.
That
These
is.
little rats won't do, you see.
God, that's a question that's actually
Jasmine,
really
run!
making. That's actually really making me think.
The boy who holds the key.
It's really hard to say. Like, there haven't been games that like come to mind. I think aside, like, it's never really like a hatred sort of thing. It's always more of like in the case of like Dark Souls, for example. Like, it's one of those things where like I'll play it and enjoy it, and then I die a bunch, and then I get frustrated and annoyed with it, so I won't touch it for like a month, you know, kind of thing. I'm trying to think if there was like any game that like
Come on.
it's actually kind of tough for me to answer, to be perfectly honest. It's a damn good question, because it sure as hell is making me think. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Ed, Eddie, The Misadventures, and Sly 2, Band of Thieves. I didn't dislike Sly 2 and Sly 3. It just, I think Sly 3 started to trip me up. And I don't know if this was just a transition. Like, I don't know how, because I never played it on PS2. I never had it on PS2. I only ever played the HD remake, or remaster. And I ended up getting really frustrated. Well, because like it was super funny. It was one of the games I wanted to platinum, and so I was hell-bent on platinuming it in a night because I was going to trade it in the next day. And yeah, like I just remember, like, by the end of it I was so done. I mean, I had like no sleep. I hadn't gotten any sleep. I just spent so long trying to do the master trials, the master thief sprint trials. Oh, good lord, those things drove me freaking crazy. And it was just because like the mechanics were really wonky. Like, sometimes Sly would jump and do things fine, but then sometimes I do my control, like do the inputs and everything like that, and he just wouldn't respond to them. Sly 2 had some good ideas, but it feels way too long at times. 3 is good, but has issues. Yeah, I definitely agree with Sly 2. There's a lot of longness to it. I can agree with that. There's definitely length. Carpet flew off towards the desert. Let's follow it, Sora. Because we're totally not freaked out by the fact that carpet just flew away.
Take that. Take that.
Say Final Fantasy 15, but it got better with updates and the expansions. Yeah, that's what my friend Xanthan was telling me. He really didn't like it when it first came out, but he said that like the expansions and the DLC have made it a lot better. Phantom Pain. I never played the story. I only ever bought Phantom Pain to play it online. To play Metal Gear Online. That was literally the only reason I bought it, and I bought it secondhand. And then like I played the online like twice, and I never went back to it. So yeah. You know, how dangerous is that? So Sora, Donald, and Goofy go out to the desert. And they just go out to the desert with no indication of where they're going. They're out in the middle of frickin' nowhere. You can't even see where the frickin' city is from this area. And they're just like, oh, we're just gonna hope that we run across the carpet that flew out this way. Nice. Yeah, I've really wanted to pick up Final Fantasy 15. I keep putting it off.
Take that! Come on!
I'm trying to think if there was ever... Well, I do know that... This is probably one of the biggest fails I ever had when it comes to buying video games. I bought the Order 1886. I bought the premium edition of it. And that thing cost me, like, I think it was like $150 for the premium edition, because it came with all this extra, like, came with a statue, came with bonus DLC, came with a steelbook case, soundtrack, all that good shit. I bought it, and I was working at GameStop at the time when I bought it, and I just remember...
Gosh, not again!
I bought it,
Get rid of these
and
guys!
all the customers who came in were telling me about it, and how they literally beat it like the first day they got it. Like, I was so hesitant to play the campaign. I just said screw it, and I went and sold it to get money for it, and I didn't even get like hardly the amount. Like, it wasn't even one of those games that stayed $30 for very long.
Thanks, Sora.
Like, it's like, oh, you buy a $60 game and you get
what are
30
you doing
guaranteed
out
back.
here?
No, it wasn't even that.
Same old stuff. Hunting legendary treasure. Just paid a visit to the Cave of Wonders. I found that magic carpet. And this lamp. Legend has it that whoever holds the lamp can summon...
Please, kid, leave the intros to a professional. The one and only Genie of the Lamp. Rub-a-dub-dub the lamp and have your dearest wishes granted. Today's winner is Aladdin. Congratulations. Patience, my fine feathered friend. Any 3 wishes. Oh, 1 wish, a 2 wish, a 3 wish. Then I make like a banana and spin it. Our lucky winner made his first wish.
And let me tell you what a doozy that wish was.
So he has 2 left. So, Master, what do you have for wish number 2?
How about making me a fabulously wealthy prince?
Whoa! Money, royalty, fame! Why didn't I think of that? Okay, you asked for it. 100 servants and 100 camels loaded with gold. Just say the word and I'll deliver it in 30 minutes or less, or your meal's free. Hey, I'll even throw in a cappuccino.
No thanks.
Okay.
I think I'll put that on hold until we reach Agrabah.
Oh, why a prince?
You see, there's this girl in Agrabah named Jasmine. But she's a princess. And she could never fall for a guy like me.
Jasmine?
Oh, that's right. She's in trouble, Aladdin.
What? Well, come on, let's get going.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you that right away. We're just gonna be like, we'll tell you when you're done doing the thing. We're just out in the middle of the desert doing nothing, hanging out.
Fresh air, the great outdoors.
I guess you don't get out much, huh?
Comes with a job. Phenomenal cosmic powers, itty-bitty living space. It's always 3 wishes, then back to my portable prison. I'm lucky to see the light of day every century or 2.
Yeah, it's hard to think of
Say,
clever
Genie,
names
What if
nowadays.
I use my last wish to free you from the lamp? What do you think?
You do that?
Genie, it's a promise. After we help Jasmine.
Yeah, but I mean, it works for what it is, you know. I mean, I used to fancy writing tons of fictional stories and stuff back in high school, and yeah, coming up with names was never my strongest suit, at least for the actual stories themselves.
See ya!
Ah, those guys are awful. Really, it's like, who keeps putting up these boxes and barrels and crap and freaking with freaking entryways? Like, is it Jafar? Did freaking he have just minions set it all up? Like, here, Heartless, go put all these barrels and boxes in the entryways. Make it hard for Aladdin to come back and just go around. You think if he was that smart, he'd freaking just block all the entrances.
Come on!
Oh.
Heal!
Favorite voice actor?
Come on!
Yeesh. I don't know too many names. That's the biggest problem. But I can definitely say that I'm a huge fan of Ian Sinclair. Love that dude to death, man. I got to meet him at the 2015 Santa Fe Comic Con in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He was a really awesome guy, just very, very down to earth. Couldn't ask. The only problem was that, oh god, he was with that freaking awful wench, freaking Jamie Marquis. Oh god, she was just awful. Like, she was just a jerk the entire time. Like, so like, the thing about Comic Cons that I didn't realize is that they're very different from anime conventions. Like, with anime conventions, most of the time, like, the voice actors and stuff they get, at least according to how I've come to understand things, is like, anime conventions pay the voice actors to be there. You know, it's like, hey, they bring them up and are like, hey, we'll cover your costs, we'll cover your hotel room, we'll cover, you know, whatever you need, you know, like, and you can come do these panels and everything. It's solid, right? But with Comic Cons, in the case of the Santa Fe Comic Con, they didn't pay Jamie Marquis or Ian Sinclair to be there. They basically were like, hey, if you want to come do a panel and show up to our convention, you're welcome to, more or less, but you have to make your own way there. So there was this whole situation where, like, because like Ian didn't know how like signings and stuff went at the Comic Cons. Well, you had to pay, basically. It was like the venue organizers were like, no, you have to charge. Well, Jamie, I heard, was doing like, she ended up charging like $10 per item of what you wanted signed. Ian, on the other hand, was like, bring up all your items, $10 for everything, and I'll sign everything. I felt really bad because Space Dandy had just ended, so like the DVDs weren't out yet, and so I didn't have anything for him to sign. Like my yeah, the prison school thing. My intent is that I was going to buy a Space Dandy print. Like, I was going to hopefully, like, somebody was going to do art for Space Dandy. Well, I ended up buying artwork that, come to find out, I think was illegally taken and was being sold as prints. I don't think it was the people who were selling the prints. I don't think it was their artwork at all. Because I later found the same piece of art under a Japanese artist's name, and the dude who sold them to me was a Black American man with, spoke perfect English, didn't know a lick of Japanese. I could probably fathom a guess. So, yeah, got swindled by buying some prints that I feel bad that I didn't buy. But I had wanted to buy some a Space Dandy print, and I couldn't find one. The only one person who was doing Space Dandy art, like, we're doing like chibi style art, and it just didn't appeal to me. Chibi style, it really depends on who does it and how they do it, so it just didn't really captivate me. No offense to the artist or anything like that, it just wasn't my taste. So I unfortunately, I kind of blew through the money that I had. I had very limited money. I hadn't saved. Like, I meant to have way more to go to a con, and that didn't happen. So, I met up with Ian after the panel, which we couldn't film it, which was really, like, Jamie had a thing about that. Like, Ian necessarily didn't care, but I guess it was like she like went on this whole thing about how like the con organizers told people they couldn't film the panels because they might talk about things or people and might get taken out of context or blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. It sucked that I didn't get to film it. I really wish I could have, especially for Ian. Because God, we like, I think my question to him was, I asked him if there were any further plans for Space Dandy, like if they were going to do any more, or if it was done, they were just going to leave it at the 2-season mark. He told me, he was like, about the only thing he said that like the only thing he had heard was that there was potential talk of a movie. And he said that was the closest thing he had heard to anything about more Space Dandy, and he kind of explained that like they really wanted to keep it in the like sort of in the Cowboy Bebop range of how long they made it. They didn't want to overdo it, is basically what he explained, and I get that. So it was a bit disappointing, but it was kind of funny because he was like, I'm very much on the Dandy hype train. He had a custom jacket made that he was wearing. It was freaking great. He was like, if they do a movie, he was like, am I doing anything for Space Dandy right now? No. If they call me to do more Space Dandy in the future, like yes, I will. I'll do it, you know. So yeah, it was kind of sad to hear that like he didn't have any sort of like insight to what they were planning for the series, if anything. Okay, those both go to the main street. Let's go out that way. But yeah, so since I didn't have anything for him to sign, after they started doing the signings, I went up to him, you know, and I shook his hand, and I told him, you know, I'm so appreciative that you came here. You know, because you know that's a lot. You know, you're basically going on your own dime. You know, and some voice actors may have the money, some might not. You know, I don't think Ian's poor by any means, but I certainly don't think it was a very profitable trip. You know, so I ended up, you know, just shaking his hand, telling him how much I appreciated him coming down, and it was super funny because I happened to catch that he had a 3DS on the chair behind him, and so I just asked him because it had just come out, and I was like, "Are you playing Smash 4? You know, like the new Smash Bros?" And he was like, "Dude, I have been all about the new Smash Bros since it came out," and he was like, "If I just had like 5 minutes to myself, I'd be playing Smash Bros right now." But he told me, he was like, "Yeah, if you're gonna be walking around the con and everything like that, you'll probably pick me up on Spot Pass or on Street Pass," and I ended up doing it. So yeah, his Mii's in my plaza, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, it was super fun. I didn't talk to Jamie Marquis, but I'm glad I didn't, especially after all the controversy surrounding her and the crap that Funimation lets her get away with. But yeah, Vic Mignogna I haven't met. I've heard the same thing. Like I hear rumors and I hear things like that about him, like that he's really weird. Like just like socially, like he kind of be, you know, like that he's overly friendly, especially to people who, like, I guess cosplay the characters he voices, like in a weird sort of way. Like, but then I hear like all the other stories of just like people saying that he's a really cool dude, like, and it's so hard, like you hear, because it was kind of the same thing. Like I got to meet Johnny Young Bosch, you know, like the last con I went to was Sabaku 2015 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I wanted to go because Johnny was going to be there and his band Eyeshine was performing, and I was a really big fan of his music. And it really interesting story. It was super funny, you know, because like I'd seen so many videos of people being like, "Oh, Johnny, can you do this one voice for me?" And it's like, no offense to Johnny Young Bosch, he doesn't have that great of a vocal range. You can definitely tell it's Johnny when he plays a character, right? No offense to him, like no knock on that at all. That's what the people pay him for. But you know, you see so many videos of people coming out and being like, "Oh, Johnny, you know, can you do this voice for me? Can you do the voice?" And to a lot of us, you know, it's especially to me, and no knock to him, but it's like a lot of his characters sound the same. So it's like Vash the Stampede sounds the same as Ichigo, you know, or Hollow Ichigo, or whatever. And so, you know, I had kiddingly joked, it was like, you know, I bet you someone's gonna ask him, you know, to do a voice. You know, I can almost guarantee it. Well, that wasn't what I was gonna do. I honestly think I blew his mind, because I was the first one in the panel to ask a question, and my question was to Johnny, and I asked him, you know, what was the driving force behind you wanting to start music? Like, what really pushed you to like make that step and like form Eyeshine and such? And you know, he told me the story, and he was like, you know, I had, you know, when I was
your sights a little high.
When I was, you know, younger, and I had just gotten out of Power Rangers, I didn't really have much in terms of like, you know, material possessions, you know, because Power Rangers was done, I wasn't really living anywhere. It was like, you know, I had the clothes on my back and a guitar, and the thing is that I told myself I was going to
so sorry, boy. I'm afraid your second wish has been denied.
I was going to learn to play that guitar, and so, you know, kind of talked about that. That's really what was the driving force, is that he, you know, he taught himself to learn and really wanted to go on and do that and everything. So
and now I bid you all farewell.
And it was crazy because at the end of his story, he actually thanked me. He was like, "That was a really good question, thank you," which made me feel super giddy because I was like, no joke. The next question after that, no joke, was some kid in the front row asking him to do like Ichigo or Hollow Ichigo or something, one of his voices, and the look on my face, you should have seen it, was just, I just had that look like, really, this really just happened, you know, kind of thing. So it was kind of hilarious, but yeah, like, you know, I'd heard so many people say that, like, oh, you know, Johnny's an asshole, you know, he doesn't like to respond to fan questions the way that others do, and he's always so mean, and, you know, he doesn't, you know, whatever. And I'm like, you know, are these just instances, like, maybe where you catch him on a bad day? You know, because, like, I knew in one instance, I think it was a con that my friends went to that I didn't get to go to. You know, it was very apparent that he wasn't having a good day, you know, kind of thing. And, you know, basically he just said it. You know, he was like, he was like, you know, I had this audition that I wanted to go to that I skipped out on to be here. You know, and you could tell that it was kind of like, you know, that's a big sacrifice to make, you know, oh shit. You know, when you're in that industry, that is, you know, that's like a hard thing to, like, just let go, you know, like you're getting this potential audition to do stuff and you just say no in favor of going to this con and having a bunch of people ask you to do your million voices, you know. And, you know, so I kind of understood where he was coming from. And it all depends, you know. You can catch these people on a bad day. Maybe they're just not feeling good that day. You know, maybe they don't want to be there, you know, kind of thing. Like, you never know. Like, so, like, I always take the stories with a grain of salt because so many people have different experiences. Like, you know, you'll have 20 people tell you that Johnny was an asshole at a con that they went to, or was an asshole to them when they approached him for signatures or whatever, you know, or whatever. And you know, but then you'll have 20 other people say that he was just a sweetheart, you know, the entire time. And it's all about how you approach people too. It's like, you know, if you're just getting in their face, like at a sighting session or something, like, hey, could you, you know, like, do this voice for me and like record it for me? Oh my god, I didn't save it after I did all this. Oh, that's awful. I feel real dumb that I didn't save it before that. Yeah, so it's just like, you know, you gotta give some leeway, you know, like these people may not, you know, they're human, like celebrities too, you know, like musicians, artists, whoever they are, you know, they're humans, you know, so you gotta treat them like one. You can't just like get in their face and like demand things, you know, or act like you're their best friend and you just meet them, you know. Kira Buckland, I've heard that name before. That's really cool. Yeah, so yeah, so the same con I met Troy Baker. You know, I got to meet Mary Elizabeth McGillen, and oh boy, she was awesome. Like, just so awesome. Like, and I'd love to meet her again. Like, just, and this time actually have something nice for her to sign, because no joke, like, and I felt horrible. Like, in retrospect, I really did feel horrible. I literally was white only there for Troy, like, because I was a big fan of BioShock Infinite. And so I only ended up getting stuff signed by Troy, you know, and I ended up, I do have her signature, and then Steve Nunez, he goes by Worky. He's done a lot of fan stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with any of his work. He does a lot of like abridged voice acting. He was currently in a visual novel or romance dating sim game. Really sweet guy. Like, he's super nice. He's super funny. He does Mormon comedy, I think, is like one of his things. Like, he does like comedy albums about Mormonism. It's really funny. Yeah, he was there, and I had him sign my pamphlet, and I still have it somewhere. So I did get their signatures. But yeah, I'd love to meet Mary again. She was freaking awesome. And I'd probably get her to sign my Outlaw Star set and tell her how much I wanted Hilda to live. And be like, you made that character, and you know, I really want to get, they have a set that's fairly recent where they did a set for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, the entire series, and I've been wanting to get that set for a really long time, and I'd probably have her sign that too. Yeah, that's the thing. For any of the voice actors I've met, I've not had a single issue. I forgot to save it again. Go back. Yeah, I will say that the first con I went to, it was a bit overwhelming for me, just because, you know, I'm not a very social person. As much as I try to be now, like, I'm awkward when I'm in big settings like that, and it's a bit overwhelming for me. And there was I tell this story. So when the panel was done with Troy, Mary, and Steve, they all left, and Troy was one of the first ones to leave, and he walked past me, and I overheard him say, "Does anybody have a lighter?" And I called to him. I was like, "Hey, Troy, hold up." And I gave him my lighter that I had on me. And, you know, I'd gotten so used to carrying one because a lot of my coworkers that I worked with at the time, they were smokers. And it was just kind of like a courtesy thing. You know, secondhand smoke was probably not a good idea to be around in retrospect. But like when they would go out on like smoke breaks or on lunch, I'd hang out with them, and they'd sometimes like to have a smoke. So I'd let them use my lighter. I just always had one on me. And, you know, so I hand him my lighter, and he takes off with it. And he has like, I think it was like the kid of like one of the staff there came back and gave it to me. Well, he actually signed, it's on the inside of the cover of the game. So like he signed on the front his name for BioShock Infinite, and then in the inside he wrote "Thanks for the lighter," which was just made me freaking giddy as a freaking person could be. Like that just freaking blew my mind. Like, you know, whatever. Yeah, he does. It's really, really weird. I didn't think he would, but I don't know if he does it. I don't know if he does it like a lot, to be perfectly honest. It might just be kind of like a stress reliever sort of thing, like for most people I know. Like that was how a lot of my coworkers coped with things. Not a healthy way to do it. Like, you know, vaping now is like probably 10 times. Vaping is like way healthier. Yeah, a lot of people are like, vaping's hipster or whatever, and I get that. But, you know, I think, you know, I give people props who are vaping, because at least that's just vapor in the nicotine. You're not getting the majority of the really harmful crap that comes with smoking cigs. So, but yeah, like I remember, so this happens, and I was just hanging out, like, I was hanging out with my friends in one of the halls, and I overhear, and I could have misinterpreted it, but I think some people saw me do this to Troy, and they got really upset or jealous, because like I think some people were like straight up giving me shit for having done this, you know. And it's kind of like, why? It's just like a common courtesy thing. It was an in the moment thing. Like, you know, I didn't sit there with the full-on intent that was going to happen, you know. So that really hit me, you know. And so I kind of like got depressed, and I was like, wow, really, people are being jerks, you know, about something like that? Like, come on, you know. So yeah, I just learned really quick just to kind of, you know, keep more to myself when I go to these cons, and just stick with my friends and try not to really, like, and I know these things are supposed to be more social, you know, and I don't like stray away from social interaction. I really do just keep to myself, You know, the last few I've gone to. Nathan Sharp is a singer who does a lot of anime covers mostly. Okay. I've heard the name. That name sounds familiar. God, really? That stupid pots. Oh, really? Look at this, I actually have to focus on something. Oh, that's never good. Yeah, that's unfortunate, you know. That's probably the biggest thing, you know. It's like it's really hard for people to keep their private lives, you know, secret when they're in the, you know, in the sphere of things like that, you know. They dated for half a year, got engaged, and split up months after they got engaged. Yeah, I've heard of that before. I mean, that's happened. You know, it's an unfortunate thing. Kind of dealing like that right now with a friend of mine. Only problem there is there's a kid involved. You know, so. Never a good time to be had. Not fun for anybody. And that's what happens sometimes too, you know, it's just an unfortunate thing. You know, I wish some people didn't rush things, but you know, some people just, that's how they go about it, you know.
Come on!
To watch that. Oh god, that's creepy. There was one VA I liked until I heard he abused his girlfriend and stole money from people on Kickstarter. He was on Critical Role, if I remember. Oh yeah. Yeah, one-way ticket to lose all your fans. You know? Oh man. Crap, I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to go. It's crazy how people put up a facade, but they turn out to be oh yeah, dude, that's like you know, I'm a big fan of wrestling, you know. It's like, so like that's, I hear horror stories all the time about wrestlers too, you know. It's like you'll get the ones who seem really cool, you know, in the ring. They do something really awesome. You know, they're just good performers or whatever. And then, like, you know, you hear just like horror story after horror story of just fans trying to interact with them, and then just, yeah, it's like, nope. Oh, that's a new one. I don't remember that from the original. How do I even hurt him?
See ya.
Oh, that's how you hurt him. You gotta tech him.
Come on.
Damn.
Heal.
Oof. Yeah, this guy's not fun. Ugh. I remember there was a voice actress I wasn't too fond of at first who turned out to be a giant sweetheart. It was really nice. She gave me a hug at a con. Had my fair share of fake people at school and online. Yeah, it happens. It's unfortunate. I know. It's so easy, like for most, you know, put on. Shit.
This is it.
Aw, that should have stunned him. Come on now.
Heal. Heal.
Did too early. Oh, really? Come on, man.
This is it.
Die, please. Oh, really?
Heal.
Oh, come on. Oh my god. That dude should have given me like a free level up for that. Good lord. Revolves around a certain someone who smashed their chest just because they did not accepted to a gaming group. Yeah. Sounds like some of the applicants that Rein gets. Gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad. I don't get accepted to the gaming group. Bah. It's such a stupid idea, man. Like I don't get why people get so uptight. God, that was. Oh man, I don't like that enemy. I do not like that enemy at all. God, I had to freaking tech him. Ugh, I was oof. Gone all that time, I could have been getting freaking better freaking. Some people are just that dedicated, I suppose. Oh, man. Never had to stoop to that low. One of the perks of working at GameStop was I got codes. I got codes a lot. Get that. I think we need to go to the desert. Oh, man. I like how for the boss battle, this whole area is like, oh, it's all interchanged. It's all connected. You don't have to...
Come on! Deep freeze! See ya! Deep freeze! Take that! Take that!
Oh yeah, that group. I'm pretty sure I know what group you're talking about. They won't be mentioned here. No, thank you, sir. Okay, wow, damn, I'm almost at the... Oh crap, this is a boss battle, huh? Yeah. Gotta fight the big head. Oh, I agree. I try to stay out of all that nonsense. Tiger is being controlled by the Heartless. Crush the power of darkness. I don't remember how to do so.
This is it!
I don't remember how to get up there to smack his eyeballs.
Come on! Take that!
I'm out of mana. That's not good.
Here! Come on! Come on!
Oh god, that's awful. I don't think this is how you're supposed to do it, but it's working, so screw it.
Take that. Defense. See ya.
Damn it. Ow.
Heal. Heal.
Crouch down.
This should help. Come on. Come on.
He won't come down.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Are you fucking... I knew that was gonna happen. I freaking called it. I was like... let me read this over real quick. In Life of David, David and Joel's story intersect with each other later on. It's like birth by sleep. Someone on the story select or dream drop distance. David was almost killed at the age of 8 by mysterious assassins, impaled him through the heart and left him to bleed out on the street. Oh wow, you've got some got a lot of going on there, huh? That's good though. Like, it's good to have kind of like a clear-cut idea of like what you're expecting, you know, to come out of a game that you're making. You know, like for me, like I remember with just like my early days of RPG Maker, like I never had clear-cut. It's kind of the same like early videos on my channel. You know, they were you know, I tried everything, man. Like I tried anime music videos, YouTube poops. I did flash animations, and the flash animations were fun, but the stories were never. I never wrote them down. Is the thing. Like, so it was all kind of just like off the cuff. And as I made episodes, like as I tried to like go forward, I would continue the story, and I never knew where they were gonna end up ending. So yeah, that's why that's why I stopped those. The last one I made, I think, God, I wouldn't even call it my magnum opus, but it's definitely one of my better ones. I think it was the last episode of Castlevania Metroid X Episode 3. I think that was the last flash animation I did with sprites. And I was still learning is the thing. Like, I never got frame data and stuff like that really clear cut. Like, I didn't know what 3 frames meant and things like that, you know. So But definitely one of my better works. And the Chain of Memories thing I was trying to do, the second episode was all right with that too. But yeah, man, so this has been fun, but I'm a little over past the 3-hour limit that I was limiting myself for these streams, because they are a bitch to render. They take a lot of data to freaking, and they're just crazy uploads to YouTube. Like, I don't like just exporting the full file. Like, I like to cut it up so that way people can digest it a little bit easier. But yeah, I hopefully will be streaming more tomorrow. Hopefully prior to my company coming over. They ain't coming over for a while. We had to change things because people's schedules and things like that, so we're pushing things back till later in the evening. So yeah, I should be back tomorrow with another Kingdom Hearts stream, and hopefully I'll keep that at a 2-hour mark, and then probably do more Rogue Trooper, because I'd really like to get back to that. So, but this has been a lot of fun, man. I really do appreciate you coming by, and to anybody else who came by, I really do appreciate it. I'm powering through this as much as I can, so this has been a lot of fun, and we'll get back to some more Kingdom Hearts tomorrow. So yeah, I'll try to power through more. Got to do a lot to catch up for the 2 days I missed. So yeah, until next time, guys. As always, this has been Daybreaker Rein, and I will catch you all in the next one as I smack my mic. Take it easy, everybody.